Welcome back to Love Letters with Leah, your weekly dose of affectionate connection on the one and only Mike and Juju's Smoke Room. And of course, I'm your host and your friend Leah. Have y'all ever been on a receiving end of an unwanted advance, especially from a friend of your significant other? That can be a situation that could possibly end a marriage and a friendship. Tonight's letter comes from a man whose wife's friend did just that. So before we get into our views on this situation, let's read the letter. Dear Leah, I'm reaching out to you today with a situation that has left me feeling conflicted and distressed, and I would be immensely grateful for any guidance you might offer. I'm a 35-year-old man, happily married to my beautiful wife for the past 12 years. We have two wonderful children and share a bond that I cherish deeply. However, recent events have shaken my world, and I'm not quite sure how to navigate the murky waters. Last weekend, while my wife was away on a business trip, I had an unexpected and uncomfortable encounter with her best friend. She had come over to drop off some documents that my wife needed for work, and we ended up having a casual dinner together. We've known each other for years and have always had a friendly, platonic relationship. As the night went on, her behavior took a turn that I did not anticipate. She began to flirt with me in a manner that was unmistakable. Her gestures grew more intimate, and she eventually confessed that she had developed romantic feelings for me. I was taken aback and immediately made it clear that I had no such feelings for her, and that I was committed to my wife. She seemed to accept my response, but the atmosphere between us remained tense for the rest of the evening. The situation has left me feeling guilty and scared. She's a dear friend of my wife, and I fear that if I tell my wife, it could ruin their friendship and potentially cause a rift in our marriage. My wife is a very trusting person, and I do not want to betray that trust by admitting that I was put in a compromising situation. However, I know that keeping this from her feels like the form of deceit. I am torn between my duty to be honest with my wife and my desire to protect her from potential pain. My wife's friend is a good person, and I believe she was acting out of loneliness or misguided affection. I do not hold any ill will towards her, and I have no doubt that she will respect my boundaries moving forward. But the fact remains that this incident occurred, and I'm not sure how to handle the aftermath. Should I confess to my wife and risk causing her distress? Or is it better to keep this to myself and hope that my wife's friend and I can move past it without her ever finding out? I am lost and in need of your insightful advice. Thank you for listening. I eagerly await your response. Sincerely, Caught in the Middle. Well, I'd surely say you were caught in the middle, which is not a good place in a situation like this. It's not easy to find oneself in a position where you must choose between honesty and protecting someone that you love from potential pain. First, let me assure you that the way you handled your wife's friend's advance was admirable. By setting clear boundaries and reaffirming your commitment to your wife, you maintained your integrity and respected your marriage. Now, you face the decision of whether to tell your wife about the incident. It's a touchy matter, but one that deserves careful consideration. Brutal honesty is a building block of a healthy marriage. And while the situation was not your doing, it's important to weigh the consequences of both telling her and not telling her. If you choose to share the incident with your wife, it could lead to several things. But by being open and honest, you demonstrate your commitment to your wife and the trust you have in your relationship. It may lead to a deeper connection and understanding between the two of you. If the friend's feelings are persistent, it's better for your wife to be aware. This way, you can both decide how to handle the future interactions and ensure that her friend respects your marriage. Knowing that you have communicated openly about this incident might help alleviate your guilt and your fear. But on the other hand, if you decide not to tell your wife. It's going to eat away at you. The secret could weigh heavy on your conscience, potentially causing stress and strain in your marriage due to your unspoken burden. It could very well backfire on you. If your wife were to find out from another source, it could lead to a significant breach of trust, making the situation far worse than it has to be. Athena, how would you handle this situation? If you were in the wife's side of the situation, tell me how you would feel and what you would want your husband to do.
Don't ever hide it from me, number one. If I find out otherwise, it's not going to be very pretty whatsoever. As far as the friend, she knew what she was doing. She waited until the other one was gone, the wife was gone, she knew what she was doing. She trapped him right where she wanted him, and she had planned this. Now, bitch, who are you? No. No. Tell your wife, get rid of the friend. She ain't no good anyways.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on that. Shay?
I feel like if her friend went out of town, you know, like if she just popped up all of a sudden, or if it was a planned out thing, like I need more context to that. But as far as my husband, I feel like if you think you have to decide if you're going to tell me or not, you already know the answer. So
Right.
just be honest
Right.
with me, tell me what happened, and we'll go from there. I mean, but she shouldn't be in my house in the first place having dinner with my husband at all.
There you go. There you go, yep.
So, before you make the decision, you're going to consider the following: the strength of your marriage. Trust and communication are the most important. If your marriage is strong, you should be able to withstand the test of sharing such a sensitive incident. If the friend is a significant part of your wife's life, it's crucial to consider how this revelation might affect their friendship. However, keeping the secret could also damage their bond if it's ever discovered that you didn't tell the truth. While it's possible that your wife's friend may not make another move, yeah, it's essential to be cautious. She's probably going to. If she continues to act inappropriately, it's best for your wife to already be aware. Consider the likelihood of the incident repeating. If the friend tries to cross the line again, not having informed your wife already could make the next encounter even more complicated. My advice to you, you need to tell your wife. Remember, approach the conversation with care, emphasizing that your wife's friend's actions were not reciprocated and that you want to ensure that she knows everything that happened. Be prepared for her reaction, which may include shock, sadness, anger, or a wider range of emotions. But if you choose to keep the secret, understand that that secret's going to fester and it's going to grow. And it's going to ruin a lot of stuff. If you ever feel uncomfortable again, you must reassess your decision and consider talking to your wife. Remember, the most important thing is the health and trust of your marriage. Whichever path you choose, ensure that it's the one that aligns with your values and the strength of your relationship, because that is what is most important. If there's anybody out there who has any other advice on this episode or any other episode, y'all feel free to drop it in the comments. Let us know how you feel. Ladies, do y'all have anything else to add?
Always be honest with your partner. Honesty is the best policy.
Brutal honesty. Well, guys, thank y'all for joining me. Remember to always keep the faith glowing, the letters flowing, and cherish the love that you're showing. Of course, this is Love Letters with Leah, your weekly dose of affectionate connection. Keep spreading the love by hitting the like and the subscribe buttons, and make sure you smash down on that notification bell. And be sure to go on over to our main page and check out our merchandise and all the other videos that we have. And we'll see you next week for your next Love Infusion.